Hey guys! So I'm here with another mini book flip through video. This little mini book, I called it This I Know. I'm going to take this out. And I made it for the Studio Calico mini book workshop. I purchased Kaylee Gray's art journal mini book workshop. Each year Studio Calico releases like a series of these mini book workshops, and at the beginning of the year you can enroll in the first one, or you can buy the bundle and it'll instantly enroll you in all of them throughout the year. Normally I enroll in the bundle, but this year I didn't, and the only class that really stood out for me was Kaylee Gray's, because I love Kaylee Gray and I love her style and everything. Hers was the only one that stood out, and I saw it in the beginning of the year and I'm like, okay, it's a little later into the year, then whatever. Completely forgot about it. I completely forgot about it until, enrolling started happening for the class, and so I last minute purchased it and worked on my little mini book art journal, because she combined both creating a mini book and creating an art journal into one, and it's like my favorite mini book workshop class that I've ever taken at Studio Calico. So anyway, and I've taken quite a few, but this one has by far been my favorite. I was so inspired by her mini book and all of her little tips and playing around with paints and stuff like that, and I really had fun making this little mini, and it's tiny. This is like sort of out of my element. I know in the Maggie Holmes mini book class I did a 4x6 book. This one is it's like pocket moleskin size, so it's like 5.5 by 3 something. I made mine a little bit wider, but yeah, it's tiny, and I normally don't work in tiny because I really like 6x8, or like 5x7, like that sort of size. But this is really tiny, but I loved it. I love working in this little book. So I'm going to give you a little flip through of my mini book. I don't think Kaylee Gray, I don't think she did a theme for her mini, but I ended up doing a theme for mine because it just came to me, and so I named my book This I Know, sort of a take on Susanna Conway's book, but for me, mine was like little things or like little facts that I know to be true within my life. I mean, some of them are general, I think, they can be very general and applied to like you or whoever, but these are little things that I know to be true in like my life, and so that's really the theme of my book. And so throughout the book you will see like little things and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little flip through of this. I'm not gonna play any music because I kind of want to read you out all the little facts and everything like that. So this is my cover. I made it with watercolor paper, so it's watercolor paper, and I just used some alphas from Me and My Big Ideas, wrote This I Know, and then I cut these little circle die cuts in half, and these are from Crate Paper's Notes and Things Project Life Value Kit, and I put it there. These are basically the colors that I'm using throughout the book, that's why it's like there. And I bound the whole thing, so I took my papers and put them together and bound it and stitched, and that's it. So the first page we have a little sort of like an intro page. I like doing intro pages a lot in all of my mini books, and even my art journals too. I like them all to have a cohesive like intro page. I don't know, because you're opening a book and it's like it should have an intro page. And so I just have a picture of myself. Here it says hello, and the fact here is my name, my age. I'm an Aries, my zodiac sign, and then I wrote art deviant, wanderlusting through life, because I tend to travel a lot, and I do a lot of art stuff, like all sides of stuff. And so this is the second one, and then I took a little die cut from the Inspire Project Life collection, and it says, be forever who you are, and I think it pertains a lot to my life, like you know, my friend likes to say you do you, and it's true, just do you, because you're only good at doing you anyway. So it's this one. This one's just, I kind of kept a lot of the pages simple as well because so much was happening in the book that the little pieces of simplicity were really, really nice. It's a doily, and this says, "Not all dogs are friendly." If you read my blog, I think it was a Get Messy season of Happy, the first week's linked up. I posted my pages and I wrote a long thing about how I got bit by a dog in Koh Phangan, Thailand. It was a stray dog. It randomly happened, but not all dogs are friendly. Just keep that in mind, and it applies to everything. Like, not all people are friendly or kind or whatever. So that's that little fact. In this one, it says, "Never lend your favorite book out to a friend. You'll never see it again." And I think that's pretty true. You'll never see the book again unless they buy you a new copy, but it's not like the original copy that you had, Again, this one's pretty simple. A lot of cut papers. Put this 5 here because even though this is not the 5th fact, I loved that gold foil 5, and I have a lot of gold foil happening in here. And this one is 2 different ones, really. This here, it says, "It's all okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end." Got that from a die cut piece, ephemera piece from Crate Paper's Wonder collection, and that resonated with me because, it's not the end yet, guys. And then here it says, "Give love away." It's on a piece of vellum. In the bag, I just kind of left it blank. I just liked how those florals kind of peek through a bit. And then this one says, "Mother is always right." Because mother is always right. I've learned that. My mother's always right. They have a lot more wisdom than you do. So that's that. And here I just used found a little old school scan online, and it's a little mom. A lot of gold foil again. This is the only image transfer that I did in this little book. For me, it's not an art journal without an image transfer, and I had this piece and I thought it would be great with what I was gonna write, or one of the facts that I had jotted down on a piece of paper. It was just the canvas was really small, but I managed to fit the girl in, and she kind of blends in with the background, and it's good. So this one says, "Being weird is good. It makes you interesting." I'm drawn to people, I guess not weird, people tend to use the word weird, oh, that person's weird. To me, they're interesting because they're different. And in my life, I am drawn to people who are different because they're really interesting. People are different. I don't know. People tend to judge other people too quickly. So I just tend to gravitate more to the people who are kind of a bit off, or that not off in the sense that they're crazy, but they're a bit different. They appear a bit different than what society deems as normal or whatever that is, and I tend to really like those people. They have interesting stories, and they're just they're like everybody else. It's just because they seem a bit different, no one really wants to approach them or whatever, but I don't care. I think you're fascinating when you're different. So that's this. And then here I just kind of left it pretty blank. This was a printable in the class, and I printed out and put it over whatever paper I had here. And then I used a floral die cut from We Are Memory Keepers Wildflower collection. And then of course I pasted the doily and some gold foil tape. And I just kind of left it simple because each section, this was a bit, this was a bit, and then this is another bit that's a lot happening. And I like that little pause in my mini book. And so here we have 2 different facts. This one, it says, "Everyone loves a great floral arrangement." I know I do. I don't know about everyone, but everyone is me in this book. I like it. A good floral arrangement. And then here I wrote, there's a story in everything. I do believe that there's a story in everything, and every bit of everything. It's kind of like a crumpled piece of paper on the floor that has a story. Where did the paper come from? Who crumpled it? Who threw it on who discarded it on the floor? I think everything in life and everyone in life has a story to tell. And you just kind of have to be open to them, and they sort of appear, or you can create them or whatever. So I think that's pretty true. This one's one of my favorites. I think this is one of my favorite spreads in this. And it just says be true, because be true. Just be true to yourself, be true to other people. Just be true. Just live a truthful life, Honor and respect yourself. Honor and respect other people. Be true. This took me a while. I just punched circles with my circle punch through papers that I practice, watercolors and acrylics, and then I cut them in half and kind of layered it with these die cuts from the beginning. So I really like that. And along with being true, be honest. Definitely be honest. I don't like when people lie to me, because I don't lie to people. I don't like if I find that the truth might be a bit offensive to you, I won't speak it. I would tell you the truth if you ask, but if you never ask, I will keep it to myself if I find that it might offend you. I'll just keep it to myself until, you ask me. And if you ask me, I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm going to be completely honest and say what I feel or what I think. And it's just a thing. If somebody asks you, where were you? Don't lie to them because it might hurt their feelings. Just tell them. People will get over it, and if they don't, then it's not a person that you want in your life. Just be honest, and hopefully if you're honest with people, they will be honest with you, hopefully, I value trust. It's really high up there in, things that I value in other people and in myself. There's no room for dishonesty in my life. I'm sorry. If you're completely dishonest with me, once it's fine, I would forgive. But if it's reoccurring, I can't associate myself with you. I need people who are truthful. So be honest in everything, with yourself, with other people, all aspects of life. Just be honest. I really like this one too. This was another one of my favorite spreads. And then this one says, it kind of reads, make something grow. With me, I always like learning new things. I always like making new things. And when you explore these, creating stuff and learning, you grow. And I think that's I think that's one of the big points of life, is to grow. Because if you don't grow, if your life is pretty stagnant and it's not really that interesting, you have to grow. So that's this one. And then this one did some watercolor techniques here, and this one says, be open to new and different possibilities. And that's true. That I can't deal with ignorance. I don't like it. I don't like people who are ignorant. You just have to be open. Be open to new possibilities, to different possibilities, and to different people and different places and different cultures. And you become a very well-rounded person, and your perspective on life changes. So definitely be open-minded. It's good. It's good for you. And so this one is like a little collage, and this one is very small, and it says, collecting memories is the best souvenir. I'm a scrapbooker. I'm a memory keeper. So I love collecting memories. I like collecting ephemeras and stuff like that, but generally when I go on vacation or go traveling someplace, I don't buy anything for myself. Rarely do I buy anything for myself. I buy gifts for other people, but I rarely bring home stuff for me, if not postcards or whatever, which I put into my journals, my travel journals, because for me that is my souvenir, is all those memories, all those photos, all the writing and everything like that. So collecting memories. And this one just says, make mistakes. I'm a perfectionist. At heart, I've always been a perfectionist, and I've always struggled with trying to be perfect in a not so perfect world, because no one's perfect. And not recently, but like maybe in the last 8 years, I've realized that it's kind of really stressful to always try to be consistently perfect when you're not. You're gonna make mistakes, and I've kind of learned that you have to make mistakes because that's how you learn and that's how you grow. And sometimes mistakes are beautiful, and sometimes they're really ugly. But I've definitely learned that I have to make mistakes, especially in like my art and mostly like in my art journals. I always try to be perfect, and sometimes your pages come out better when you make mistakes. So definitely make mistakes. And again, this one is blank. There's some writing here, but this is like a little acetate transparency, and I just kind of put bits here, and it's a quiet pause in my journal. This one, it says there is always time. This is sort of a play on, what is it? FOMO, I think it is, the fear of missing out. There is always time. I don't know what it is with not so much millennials, more I think it's more of a 20-something-year-old thing that, some people feel like they're missing out, like their friends are doing all these great things, and it's like there's not enough time. There's always time. I kind of learned that there's always time. Just do things that you love to do, and everything else that society says that you're supposed to do, you can just do that later. Like, it doesn't matter. Just do that later. Like, there's no rush to get a career. There's no rush to get married. There's no rush to have kids. There's no rush to do any of that. You can just do all that stuff later. I mean, the kid thing, well, you can always adopt or whatever, but you can always do that later. Just, do things that you enjoy now, because there's always time for all the other stuff. And you can always make time. That's the thing. Prioritizing your time. If you prioritize it, you can do everything that you kind of want. And I'm very good at that. And so I do all sorts of things, and people ask me, how do you have the time to do all this stuff? It's like, because I make the time. And when you make the time, you always have time. So that. This one's pretty simple too. I actually did this page on the go. I was babysitting and, waiting around while the kid has swim lessons. I kind of brought a few things and did this, so I was kind of limited in what I had on me. So I kind of left this page blank, and then here I wrote, when life gives you lemons, plant the seeds and grow your own lemon tree. Because life throws you lemons all the time, and it's more of how you deal with those lemons. And I say, this is more of like an encouragement thing, like to empower me, really. It's just like when life gives you hardship, just take those hardships and spin them around and create your own tree. Like, to cultivate your own lemons and, I guess, throw them back at life. It's good. It's a good. I was kind of inspired by this because it's a little die cut from We Are Memory Keepers Wildflower collection. Has a lemon, just like that. This one is also a bit simple. Again, this is with the polka dot transparency. In the back, I just kind of did this layering of the papers that I cut. And then a little floral on the book paper. And then on top of that, you can sort of see it through, but not really. But I just put this little label, and it says, being alone sometimes is not always such a bad thing. I'm a very solitary person. I like being by myself. I like being with people too, but since I'm an introvert, sometimes it's just too much to take in when there's a lot of people. And so I like that whole alone time, the me time. And I've traveled by myself. I've done a lot of things alone. And people think that's weird or whatever, but it's not. I think being alone is very good. You learn about yourself. You learn how to be independent and deal with certain things on your own without anybody there. It's always nice to have company. But sometimes you need to just do things by yourself, just to, prove to yourself that you're okay and that you can get through these things on your own because you're strong. So that's that there. And then this one's a favorite of mine, travel the world. I always encourage people to travel because it's the best way to experience, I think, life. You get to see other places, experience other cultures a lot of the times, depending where you go. That's completely different from your own, and you see, get to experience other people's lives, and you meet fascinating people from all over the place, and you learn. Like, I seriously have learned that despite what our skin color might be, despite where we're from, like we might be from two different ends of the planet, first world, second world, third world, whatever, we are all the same. Like we value the same things, and a lot of people don't. I'm talking from like an American point of view. I think a lot of Americans don't know that. They don't realize that there are other people out there, and yes, their lives are drastically different from ours, but deep down we're all the same people. We all value the same things, family, love, just life. Like a lot of things are similar. Like I mean, there were some times, like, I give you a story. In Indonesia, my friend and I, we got caught in the rain, so we had to hail a taxi instead of walking back to our hotel, and our driver spoke very little English, and we, struggled through Indonesian to communicate. And we were able to communicate with each other. But what was the drawing point was that when we told him we were from New York, he kind of related it to New Jersey, and he asked about Bon Jovi, because I guess that's his first, thing that came up to his mind when it comes to America and like that part. And we were just like, yeah, Bon Jovi, and we collectively started singing a bunch of Bon Jovi songs, and that is how we communicated, and it was wonderful. It was just like we connected over the music, and it's like, I always say music is universal, like it's just one of the universal factors of the world. But the fact that, I love Bon Jovi, like he's one of my favorites, like I buy his records and stuff like that, and that's one of the driver's favorites and my friend, and it's wonderful, like those little stories. We're all the same people. Like, I don't understand why we all discriminate against each other and why there's so much hate when we are deep down like the same. So travel the world, open your mind, be open to new possibilities and people and cultures. It's the best way to live, really. So this one, it says, what's your currency? This was inspired by someone me and my friend met on our Southeast Asia trip. My friend was, he was saying that he wished he could travel more, like all the time, like some people do, but like he can't afford it, like the money thing. And the woman that we met, she called out BS on that, and she left my friend with the question, what's your currency? Because basically you can barter and exchange goods based on like your skills that you have and stuff like that. So I thought that was very interesting, and it's true. And then there are no excuses. You can travel. Maybe if you're going to stay at this place, offer to do something for them, something that you're skillful in, that's your currency, and that's how you pay. So this is like an ultimate question to everybody. What's your currency? Like, what do you have to give? It can be your art, and you can exchange that. It can, whatever. You can, your language skills, teaching English, stuff like that. So what's your currency? And then my last little fact, which is one of the things that I hold true, like in my life, is you only need one true friend in your life. And it's something that my mom would always tell me since I was little. I was a very shy kid, so I was always by myself for the most part. But she would always say, you only need one good true friend. Like, you don't need a bunch of friends. You just need one. And I have quite a few friends, but I can count them all on my hands, and like my truest friends, I can count them all on my fingers. So you only need one true friend, just one that will have your back. You know, they're worth like 100 other friends, like those simple friends. You know, so just one true friend. Here, just a plain, again with the floral die cuts. I have like a lot of the floral gold foil throughout the whole thing. And then the last page is just, I left it blank like that. So yeah. This is my little mini book, and I'm so proud of this mini book. I will definitely leave the links below. There are going to be 2 different blog posts if you want to check out those. And definitely check out my website on the gallery. Again, I'll leave all the links below in the description box, so you can see all the photos up close and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess that's basically it. Unfortunately, this workshop the enrollment for it is now closed. I think it closed May 1st. But if you check Studio Calico periodically, they will put up the bundle. I mean, you can buy the bundle for the one class, and it will be included in the bundle, but individually it will no longer be will no longer be able to purchase it individually, but you can definitely purchase it in the bundle when they put them up, because they close registration for the bundle the same time they close the class. And then I think not next month, maybe the next month or in July, they'll open up the workshop again, but for that upcoming workshop. Yeah, that's how they do it. So, you know, go on Studio Calico and be on the lookout for that. I'll probably leave that link below if I still have it, the bundle workshop, because even if it's not up on their site, it will be when they open it again. So you can buy the bundle and grab this class. But those bundles are always really fun. I just didn't do it because I had other projects that I was planning to do this year, so I didn't buy the bundle. But I needed this class because it's Kaylee Gray, and I will leave a link below to her website, and you can see all of her beautiful little minis and art journals and everything. She's fantastic. So yeah, that is my little mini. I hope you enjoyed this kind of different flip through. I kind of like explained myself and everything like that. So yeah, give it a like if you liked it, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!